Hello and welcome back to musicwithryan.com. Today we're going to check out lesson number 5 of the Beginning Guitar 101 eCourse. And for this lesson we're going to cover, it's pretty much going to encompass everything around the tune Good Riddance by the band Green Day. Now this is a very popular mainstream pop, alternative, punk, it's not really punk though, song that is great for the beginner. Okay, I've taught this lesson many times, and it's great for a few reasons. We're going to check out some different chord shapes for G and C, which you may or may not know about. And another thing that we're going to talk about a lot is the intro riff that they do. They do some like cross-picking type of things, and it really gives us a chance to look in depth about our right hand and about keeping good rhythm and making sure we're getting our alternate picking that we've learned in some of the previous lessons about the scales, and now we're going to try to kind of apply that to this tune. So, with all that, and we're going to, the rhythm lessons and everything, it's going to take about 50 minutes of video and the sheet music and practice tracks for this tune. If you enjoy the way that I teach and the way I approach learning guitar, I would encourage you then to check out my entire course. The eCourse is 12 lessons long, almost 12 hours of video, okay, and it's meant to cover a 6-month time span, okay, so 2 lessons a month is kind of where I recommend, and you may go through some of them faster or slower, but in the end it's kind of at your pace. 6 months is just what I recommend, and like I said, 12 hours of video, MP3 practice tracks, there's a beginning guitar ebook with the chord charts, all the different, because we learn a bunch of chords, instruction, and all the sheet music, of course, for everything. And each lesson is approximately anywhere from 40 to 70 minutes of video, and especially the beginning, the first 5-6 are usually an hour or more. So for now, we're going to go ahead and just give you a little glimpse of what's in lesson number 5 here, and kind of so you can see how it goes and how I teach. Please subscribe and check out the website for more of the beginning guitar course if you are learning guitar. So that's it for now. I'll see you around. Thanks for watching. Alright, so let's take a moment to look over the chords here for Good Riddance, and again look over the new chords. So we know most of these chords. We know G, D, E minor, and C, but we're going to do just a couple of them differently. So let's just check out the new G, the full G I might call it. And so second finger, 3rd fret of the low E. And your first finger is going to get in there, 2nd fret of the A. And I know maybe some of you were doing the G like this or like this, for an alternate fingering. You had your 3rd finger down here on the high E. Well, I want to take that 3rd finger and put it on the B string in the 3rd fret, and then pinky on the high string in the 3rd fret. So these two in the 3rd fret, and then we got these two back to where they belong. And so really it's only one note different than the other G, right? It's this B string, and if I took my 3rd finger off, put it back on, took it off. You hear that little difference? Now it's subtle. It's very subtle, but it's there. It's most definitely there. And I'm getting one more fretted note instead of that open note. And again, fretted notes have a different tonality than notes that are played open. Okay, they just have, different tonality. So there's our new G, our full G, and you can use this anytime. This isn't like a G7 or sus or any of that jazz. It's a G chord. So you can use that G anytime you want for any song that requires G, okay? So, and I use it a lot. And I use them both, like this one. I use them just like my hands just go there. I don't even tell them really anymore. They just do it. So it just kind of depends what's happening, again, in the song. Alright, so there's our new G, our full G. So we're going to learn our new chord C9, which is a really useful chord to know. And all I'm going to do is take these 2 fingers and move them down. one string. Just move them straight down. These two stay put. These two come down. And I strum from the A string on. It kind of has that kind of suspended sound. Or that's the 9 sound. If I want to go back to G, I just take my 2 fingers, put them back up on the strings. The A and the E. Go back to C9, I just move them down a string to the A into the D, 2nd fret. Now I want to go a step farther and we're going to go to the D chord, and we know the D. But I want to see if you can keep this 3rd finger in place. When you go to the D, just like that, back to C, back to D. And so now, what I'm trying to get at is this 3rd finger right here acts like an anchor, okay? And again, this is for more than just this song. Like, a lot of songs have G, C, and D, right? Like, all kinds. And so, G, C9, D. And that whole time I kept my 3rd finger down. It acts as an anchor. And not every song's going to call for C9. I mean, C does sound different than C9, no doubt. So some songs may call for it, some may not. And all while, like, these two pretty much stay here the whole time. Again, the 3rd finger stays the whole time, going back and forth. All right, so now that we've had a chance to talk about how to hold the pick and getting different tones out of our guitar a little bit, using the pick, thickness and such, I just want to go over the strumming pattern that we're going to use for this tune, and hopefully you'll use for several others, and just look at it a little more closely, okay? And we're going to use that pattern, number 2 in the strum key, and it's the one we learned in lesson 4, and it's down, down, up, down, up, down. I'm playing a G chord, by the way. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. And I am doing the full G. Down, down, up, down, up. So while now many, we've maybe touched on this, but I haven't talked about it a lot, is that when people first start strumming, like, they strum usually across like all this, they think they have to strum across all the strings. And that's really what I just kind of start out with. I don't get into it too much because I just want people to get going, you know. So people will often all the strings, and sometimes that works, honestly, and some songs that's great for. It calls for that, but a lot of times I feel it's a bit too much, and I want to like kind of like fine tune how my chord sounds, or define the chord a little bit better. So often what I do, and this goes for the strumming pattern number 1, 2, or many of the strumming patterns, is that the first stroke for this one, I like to go across all the strings. And then after that, the subsequent strums